Okay, this is my wire loom. Wire harness before the loom, I should say. It's been a long night. I don't know what point in whatever video that I'm about to compile this is, but this is the part right before I wrap it up in the braided split loom I ordered, which I'm pretty pleased with. I don't know how well it holds up to heat, but I can try that real quick. Cool. I don't remember where I left off, but I did trim a piece of that loom so I can torch test it real quick. These 89-cent scissors from Harbor Freight really did pretty okay. Is there anything special? I bought them because it's literally the only thing that I have seen for sale on a shelf in a store where the price starts with 0. And it's the first time I've seen that in fucking 3 years. So I bought it because it's really just cheap. I didn't even really need a pair of scissors at the time. And I didn't plan on doing this braided split loom until after the day I bought the scissors. But anyway, is she torch rated? There we go. Nope. I wonder how much heat it can take though. It does melt. Oh, this stinks too. It should be cool. Nope, it's still a little hot. Sorry about that. Okay, I can touch it now. So, it doesn't hold up very well to a crackhead torch, that's for sure. Does it taste good? No. As far as markings, there's not really a lot on this thing. Or nothing that says how much heat it could take, but at least it tells you that the cat won't eat it. I wonder if it applies to mice too. Mice, moose, mice. Yeah, it does have a little diagram of you to melt the edges to keep it from fraying, which is actually solid advice. I didn't even think about that. And as I saw, that works pretty well. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of go over the harness real quick. Starting at this C100 or C200 Firewall connector. I forget whichever one it's called. But it's right behind the driver's side fender next to the steering column where it comes out. Right there. From the firewall to the fuse box. This is my battery constant that runs kind of in here, and it loops around and it goes to, I think, like this row of 3 fuses right here. That's the battery constant. These two are key on and start for the ignition. So each fuse does something. Like one does coils, this one does the passenger side injectors, and the driver side injectors I just want to, fill in fuse slots. Plus if something goes wrong on either side, it'll just blow one side and give me a V4. I don't know what any of these do. Whatever. I have it wrote down. This goes to the fuel pump motor feed, the backup reverse light feed, and either a ground or maybe the sending unit. I'm not sure. I think that's the horn. That could potentially be a horn pigtail. And then you go here, or the truck harness and LS harness matches, and then this is where they cross over in this area. And that goes to the PCM, obviously. Then going through the driver's side between the what's it called, intake and the valve cover gasket. Not valve cover gasket, what the fuck is it called? valve cover. I don't know why the fuck I said gasket, but anyway, it's the coil, injectors, throttle position. No wait, that's idle air. This is throttle position with the purple. Alternator pigtail, a ground, and this is for the water temperature. That is knock sensors, and this should actually run, like that whole wire right there should actually run this way to be more accurate, but I laid it out this way for reasons unknown. It goes down from knock sensor. Let's go behind the head. Your cam position sensor, or cam angle sensor, oil pressure, another ground, which I might run somewhere else. It'll be fine right there. That's still accessible. And it goes down, down, and down. Park neutral position switch, neutral safety, whatever you want to call it. The bank 1, sensor 1, O2 sensor pigtail. This goes to the transmission. That's what makes the transmission transmish. This is the VSS wire. I need to cut this and put the 95 specific VSS pigtail on, if it'll even reach the 95 VSS, which I may have to solder an extension into this. And then that is the bank 1 sensor 2 pigtail. Back up here, back down the LS loom. This is going to be on top of the motor, top of the back in this area. Map sensor, I think. Ground. A ground. Passenger side coil. This is the AC request pigtail. And that goes in here. Right here along the AC line, because this runs parallel to this when it's all laid out in the engine. This is the injectors, and this is the oil level switch and the crank position sensor. This is the start wire. Now going back, okay, this is my brindle indicator fiasco that is just specifically for me. Let me get a stool real quick. This fucking knees hurt. Alright, we were here. This is the back of the head. This group of wires goes down to the bank 2 sensor 1 and sensor 2. That will run along the frame. And then this is the MAF. I can tell it's the MAF because it's labeled. Okay, going back up. And just follow the LS harness back to where they mate. And we'll follow the truck harness down to a big ground. And this is this has 2 battery constants. That goes to the lights. And then the underhood lights, I mean. And then this is the low pressure cutoff switch. Why it has a battery constant going to it, I honestly have no idea. That's how it was when I undid it, and that's how it worked for years, so I'm just gonna leave it. The whole AC circuit is something that I don't want to open up more than I have to. That goes to the firewall, and then that goes inside the cab up to the original PCM. And then the C200, I think, is what that is. And these go to the brindle. So eventually I'll have to connect this to that, which I will probably do with a 4-way waterproof pigtail on the outside, and maybe another 4-way pigtail on the inside. Because I'll have to have the wiring ran through the firewall and then permanently put in place, because I don't really feel like figuring out how to make a bulkhead that just bolts on one side, and then to the other side, similar to that, but just way smaller. It'll be just as easy to slide 4 wires through a pre-drilled hole, silicone it up, and then put a pigtail to go from there to the wires, and then from there to the wires. And I think that's it. This is mainly for my reference, but if anybody else can see this as any use, I hope it does. And you're welcome if it does. It's kind of a mess. This is my first harness I've ever integrated, and it looks like a lot. Like, I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary stuff in here. And I know there is because of the O2 sensors. Like, some models have only 2, but mine has freaking 4 for some reason. I guess it's a Tahoe thing. But I just kept them because why not? I'm gonna run Trudel anyway. Still trying to figure out what muffler to use. Yeah, I went over this already, but yeah, that's what she looks like before I loom it all up with this braided split loom, or whatever they call it. Split sleeving, same thing. This is a 10-foot roll of, I think this is their biggest size. I don't know what size it is. There's actually check marks on the box, but they don't say. Oh, it does say 1 inch. So that's 1 inch, and I bought that for like these sections here. I think it should work. And I also bought a pack of 1/8 inch, 10 feet of, which I probably need more of that if I'm being honest. And here's a box of something. Yeah, 25 feet of 1/4 inch, which will be good for stuff like this. Like this size, I think. The 1/8 inch will be for things like this AC request, the real thin, janky wire, if it'll even like work. But as long as this keeps the wires from grounding out, burning my shit down, I'm okay. I don't even care if it looks that good. Because personally, I think the F4 fabric tape looks a lot better, which I have some right here. I honestly think this looks better, but it's not very serviceable. And when I did this, I knew that this was not coming apart ever, because it's an aftermarket harness. I ran everything I want to run, and it's staying there forever. And if it don't, then fuck it. If anything goes wrong, I feel like I may convert this from the orange box bullshit and the ballast resistor to just a single wire HEI distributor. But that's what I wanted for now, based off of what I was told in my research, that this delivers cleaner spark at higher RPMs than HEI does. I don't know, we'll figure it out. If this doesn't leave me stranded more than twice, then I will probably leave it. Anyway, now that the squirrel went away, I think I'm gonna go ahead and limb this up, and I'll get back with you. Okay, ready to do a fire test now. Got the wiring harness buttoned up, mostly. I still have odds and ends to do, like the windshield washer, squirter, the Prindle thing, but it's all here, except ECM and a lot of other shit. But this is purely a fire test to see if it'll burn down now or later, depending on where I work on it. Like, I've never even touched the negative to it yet. Guess we'll learn together. This fucking negative doesn't reach, so I gotta do some finagling. Alright, not much different, but it might work. So, let's see together. A little bit spark. Nothing bad. It's very good. I might leave that loose in case something does actually happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing in the fuse box yet. The new battery constant is hooked up. It's not hot or anything. The key is off and lights are off. Oh, except the trunk, not trunk, glove box. Yeah, that still works. So this is purely a first time. Hey, fuel gauge don't work. Wonder if it has something to do with the PCM not being hooked up. No fire. Wonder if it has enough connection to roll the starter over. There's no oil in the engine, so I might just click it and kill. Oh shit. Uh-oh. The fuck was that? Something blew up. I think it was a loose or not so tight connection. It just freaking kapooied. I wonder if I caught that. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I mean, it works though. Sorta. Yeah, I definitely saw sparks and heard a. But, hey, fuel gauge is reading normal now. So, that was that. Fire check, 0.9 success. Okay, I thought I was done, but no, I'm not. Because I did it again with a better connection this time. Also, no fire that time either. But I know what I heard when I said I heard a kapooey noise. It was a tape popping. You can see this one was kind of blown out from the exhaust poofing. So what I think was a poof of exhaust was coming out and popping the tape loose. If I did again, that's exactly what it sounded like. So yeah, that's okay. I didn't turn the starter for more than half a second though. Maybe 3/4 of a second, because there's no oil in it. I need to put oil in it, but I keep forgetting. Anyway, it doesn't fire, literally or figuratively, so that's good. Success so far. Anyway, I'll stop this right here and I will resume it whenever something interesting is about to happen.